Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 1st and 2nd of September 2023. First of all, I'm really sorry that I couldn't take the classes for last 2 days, but you do not need to worry for that because definitely we'll cover all the important news and events in today's session. Also, one more thing, now on our main channel, that is GK Today, another experienced faculty of our team would be continuing the lectures on my behalf for next 1 week because we are planning some new things to help you guys in a better way. That's why we have taken this particular step. Also, any review or suggestion from your side would be highly appreciated, and I will be here at GK Today 2.0 definitely with you guys, and also I will try to bring the lectures in a consistent manner now onwards. So now, without taking much of your time, let's get started. The first question says, which country's Prime Minister was granted the Grand Cross of the Order of Honor by Greece in 2023? So President of Greece, Katrina, has conferred Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the Grand Cross of the Order of Honor, and this award was established in the year 1975. So this honor is conferred by the President of Greece to the Prime Ministers and eminent personalities who by some reason of their distinguished position have contributed to enhance the status of Greece. Fine. So here correct answer will be Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Also, as per the State of India's Birds Report, nearly 178 species of wild birds were identified as needing immediate priority for conservation, and out of the 338 bird species that were studied in India for changes in numbers over the last 30 years, 60% of them have experienced a decline, and 40% of the 359 species evaluated for change over the last 7 years have been declined. Okay, simply have to remember that 178 species of birds were identified as being of high conservation concern. Next question is, the Ministry of Defence signed 19,000 crore rupees contract with which company for 5 fleet support ships for the Indian Navy? So Ministry of Defence signed this contract with Hindustan Shipyards Limited, Visakhapatnam, for acquisition of 5 fleet support ships for the Indian Navy at an overall cost of 19,000 crore rupees. Basically, it would be a major boost towards achieving the goal of self-reliance in defense manufacturing because these ships will be indigenously designed and constructed by Hindustan Shipyards Limited, right? So your correct answer would be option number A. Also, who is the head of the committee that has been set up to onshore the Indian innovation to GIFT IFSC? So a committee of experts to onshoring the Indian innovation to GIFT IFSC, constituted by International Financial Services Centers Authority, submitted its report to chairperson of this particular authority, and this committee was chaired by G. Padmanabhan, who is the former Executive Director in Reserve Bank of India. So this committee basically comprised different representatives from leading venture capital funds, startups, fintechs, law firms, tax firms, and other type of domain experts, right? So who's the head of this committee that has been set up to onshore the Indian innovation to GIFT IFSC? Answer would be G. Padmanabhan. Next is, which is the top state for exemplary performance in the Smart Cities mission in 2022? This is an important question. So Indore has been adjudged as the best smart city, while Madhya Pradesh has been chosen as the top state for exemplary performance in the Smart Cities mission. Also, Surat and Agra are at the second and the third place among the cities, while Tamil Nadu is in the second position in the state category. Further, it is followed by Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh in the India Smart Cities Award Contest 2022, right? So here correct answer would be Madhya Pradesh. So next is, which state launched the Man of Sampada portal to instill transparency in administrative procedures? So the government of Uttar Pradesh launched the Man of Sampada portal, the aim of which is to instill transparency in administrative procedures. And according to an official statement, this initiative intends to bring different activities of officers and employees from various departments into the public domain through this portal. And pertinent details concerning their appointments, leave management, transfers and retirements will be accessible on this particular platform, right? So this is the initiative of Uttar Pradesh government. Next question is, Magnus Carlsen, who won the Chess World Cup title, is from which particular country? So Magnus Carlsen belongs to Norway, and recently he has won the Chess World Cup by defeating India's R. Pragnanandha. So he has been ranked as the world's top player for more than 12 years, and he defeated Indian player in finals that was played in Baku in Azerbaijan country. And if you remember, in 2022, Pragnanandha was the youngest player ever to defeat Magnus Carlsen until the month of October, when another Indian teenager, D. Gukesh, broke the record of R. Pragnanandha, right? So Magnus Carlsen is from the country Norway. Now, which institution developed the search and rescue kit in India? Actually, Indian Navy successfully undertook the maiden test drop of an indigenous search and rescue kit, and the Indian Navy tested this Made in India SARC from the Boeing P-8I long-range patrol aircraft. So this kit has been developed by Agra-based Defense Research and Development Organization's laboratory, that is ADRDE. Full form is Aerial Delivery Research and Development Establishment. Okay, so this kit has been developed by Aerial Delivery Research and Development Establishment, that is the laboratory of DRDO. Okay, now here two questions arises related to biodiversity and culture. First of all, emperor penguins are endemic to which particular region? So these are the iconic symbol of Antarctica, and currently they are at the risk of extinction due to abrupt reduction in the sea ice. So according to a study, 90% of the emperor penguins will be quasi-extinct by the end of the century under the current global warming trajectory, and these are entirely dependent on sea ice for breeding. So that's why they are about to extinct. Okay, simply you can be asked that emperor penguins are endemic to which region? So that would be Antarctica. Also, the Siebold's water snake is endemic to which region? So basically it is a mildly venomous species, and it is being sighted regularly on the Yamuna floodplain since the beginning of the monsoon in the month of June this year, as per the ecologist. This suggests that the species has made its way back to its natural habitat, and basically it is endemic to Asia. So this snake was said to have disappeared from Delhi for decades, and later on its presence was confirmed in the year 2015. Okay, so Siebold's water snake is endemic to Asia. The next question says, which city is the host of G20 Trade and Investment Ministers meeting? So the G20 Trade and Investment Ministers meeting recently concluded at Jaipur, which is called as the Pink City of India, and this meeting was led by Piyush Goyal, who is our Union Minister for Commerce and Industry. So under India's presidency, the G20 Trade and Investment Ministerial reached a groundbreaking consensus on 5 concrete and action-oriented activities which have been adopted in the outcome document of Trade Ministerial meeting that was held in Jaipur. And the G20 ministers also issued a Jaipur call for action for enhancing the access to information for the MSMEs, right? So which city is the host of G20 Trade and Investment Ministers meeting? Answer would be the Jaipur city. Next is, Namaste is a scheme launched by which Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs? And actually, to eliminate hazardous cleaning and to stop the deaths of sewer and septic tank workers and to ensure their safety and dignity, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment along with Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs have formulated a scheme named as National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem, that is Namaste. And this scheme is to be implemented in all the 4,800 urban local bodies of the country during the 3 years, that means up to 2025 to 26, with an outlay of 349.7 crore rupees. Okay, so two things can be asked. Namaste is an initiative of which two ministries? Answer would be Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs along with Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Also, what is the full form of this particular acronym Namaste? It is the National Action Plan for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem, right? Now, apart from it, which union ministry launched the Tele-Law 2.0 initiative? So this initiative was launched under the Tele-Law program of the Department of Justice, which works under Ministry of Law and Justice. So this program basically operates under the Disha scheme, and recently it has achieved a significant milestone by delivering nearly 50 lakh legal consultations, and this version consists of fusion of Tele-Law services with Nyay Bandhu legal services, which is a merger to further enhance the citizen accessibility to legal aid, right? You can be simply asked that which union ministry has launched the Tele-Law 2.0 initiative. Answer would be Ministry of Law and Justice. Next question is, India and which country upgraded their relations to a strategic partnership recently? So India and Greece upgraded their relations to a strategic partnership and pledged to double the two-way trade by 2030 during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the country Greece. And further, the two sides decided to accelerate the Mobility and Migration Partnership Agreement to facilitate the skilled migration, right? So India and Greece have recently upgraded their relations to a strategic partnership recently. So basically, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi travelled to Athens in Greece for an official visit at the invitation of the Prime Minister of Greece, and he laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier outside the Greek Parliament in Athens. And Narendra Modi is the first Prime Minister in the last 40 years to visit Greece, and the last Prime Ministerial visit from India to Greece was held in 1983. You can be asked that tomb of unknown soldier is located in which country? Answer would be Greece. Now, apart from it, which country is the host of the Assembly of the Global Environment Facility? So recently, the Global Biodiversity Framework was finally ratified and launched at the 7th Assembly of the Global Environment Facility in the country Canada. And different governments, non-profit organizations and the private sector can now contribute their funds here to ensure that the world met the goals and targets of Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework that was formulated by the Convention on Biological Diversity by 2030. So Canada and UK have already donated 200 million Canadian dollars and 10 million pounds respectively to this fund. Okay, you can be asked that which country is the host of Assembly of the Global Environment Facility? So that would be Canada. Next question is, which country emerged as the champions of the inaugural Women's Asian Hockey 5S World Cup qualifier? So in the finals that was held in Oman country, India's women's hockey team secured a 7-2 victory against the country Thailand. And finally, India emerged as the champions of inaugural Women's Asian Hockey 5S World Cup qualifier. So with this win, India has also earned their spot in the World Cup that is set to take place in Muscat from 24th to 27th of January 2024. Fine. So here India is the winner of inaugural Women's Asian Hockey 5S World Cup qualifier. Then apart from it, which country has developed a device for the visually impaired for playing the sports of shooting? So this country is Germany. Germany has developed a device for the visually impaired for playing the sports of shooting, and this device has been brought to India for the first time and given to the visually impaired in the city of Pune. Basically in shooting, the target is identified and aimed through binoculars, and the same technique has been developed by these devices. One part of this device is in the rifle and the other part is on the headphones that are placed on their ear. Okay, so Germany has developed this device for visually impaired for playing the sports of shooting. Also, IIT Bombay partners with which particular financial institution to support innovation-led green hydrogen initiatives? So for this purpose, Indian Institute of Bombay has partnered with HSBC to pursue technological advancement towards making the green hydrogen production more efficient, cost-effective and scalable. So the focus will be on innovative projects that will help position the green hydrogen as a strategic alternate fuel, which would help the country in building a green hydrogen economy and achieve the government's vision of an energy independent nation, right? So this company is HSBC. And also there is one more question. You have to tell me the Center for Development of Telematics functions under the aegis of which union ministry? So answer would be Ministry of Communication. Why it was in news? Because recently this center has observed its 40th Foundation Day celebration. What is the function of this center? Basically, it gives AI-enabled automated responses to the cyber threats. Okay. So what is the full form of CDOT? Center for Development of Telematics, and it works under Ministry of Communication. Next question is, India is set to open a climate change and health hub in which city in partnership with Asian Development Bank? So India is all set to open a climate change and health hub in New Delhi in partnership with Asian Development Bank, and this hub will facilitate knowledge sharing, partnerships, innovations, and to help the developing countries so as to reduce the infectious diseases and the natural disasters that are driven by the climate change to challenge the health system. Okay, so India is set to open this particular hub in the city of New Delhi. Next is, who is the first Indian to secure a gold medal at the World Athletics Championship? This is an important question. So Neeraj Chopra clinched the gold medal in the men's javelin throw event at the World Athletics Championship that was held in Hungary. So he made history by becoming the first ever Indian athlete to secure a gold medal at this prestigious championship. Okay, so your correct answer would be Neeraj Chopra. Can you tell me the Kashi Culture Pathway document is associated with which bloc? So the G20 nations arrived at a consensus on cultural issues and they together adopted the Kashi Culture Pathways document. Basically, it recognized the threats to cultural heritage and the cultural resources, including looting and illicit trafficking of cultural property, the intentional or collateral destruction of cultural heritage and sites, also desecration of relics and shrines, illicit excavation, forgery, and the misappropriation of cultural heritage, right? So Kashi Culture Pathway is associated with G20. Which city is the host of the B20 Summit India 2023? So Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently addressed the B20 Summit India 2023 in New Delhi, and B20 Summit India brings different policymakers, business leaders and experts from across the world to deliberate and discuss the B20 India Communique, which includes 54 recommendations and 172 policy actions for submission to G20, right? So your correct answer would be New Delhi. Which union ministry has released the report on 6th Census of Minor Irrigation Schemes? So Ministry of Jal Shakti recently released the report on the 6th Census of Minor Irrigation Schemes, which showed that the number of both groundwater and surface water schemes have increased at the national level, and out of 23.14 million schemes that were examined, 21.93 million, that means nearly 94.8%, constitute groundwater schemes, while 1.21 million, means 5.2%, are classified as surface water schemes. Okay, so this is associated with Ministry of Jal Shakti. Also, as of August 2023, what is the number of accounts that were opened under the PM Jan Dhan Yojana? So answer would be 50.09 crore. So actually more than 50.09 crore accounts have been opened under the PM Jan Dhan Yojana in the last 9 years, and the deposit balance increased to over 2.03 lakh crore rupees as per the Finance Ministry. And around 56% of Jan Dhan account holders are women, and nearly 67% Jan Dhan accounts are in rural areas and in semi-urban areas. Not only this, 33.98 crore RuPay cards were issued to PM Jan Dhan Yojana account holders. You would never be asked about this figure. Only thing you have to remember is 50.09 crore or more than 50.09 crore accounts have been opened under the PM Jan Dhan Yojana till now. Okay. Next is Emerson Mnangagwa was re-elected as the president of which country? So he is actually the president of Zimbabwe, and recently he has been re-elected for the second and the final 5-year term. Okay. So this South African country of Zimbabwe consists of nearly 16 million people, and it has a history of election irregularities, and such tactics helped Robert Mugabe, who was a liberation leader turned autocrat, and he maintained the power for nearly 4 decades. Simply have to remember that who is the new president of the country Zimbabwe? Again, it is Emerson Mnangagwa. Fine. Now, can you tell me the Embassy of India in which country has launched a mobile application named as EOIBH Connect? Why? So as to ease the consular access. So Embassy of India in the country Bahrain has launched this particular mobile application that has been designed to facilitate online appointment booking for a spectrum of consular and visa services that are accessible through both the Indian Embassy at Manama, Bahrain. So this application has swiftly broadened its capabilities. Now it enables the users to conveniently schedule their appointments with IVS Global. Okay. Simply have to remember that this particular application has been launched by the Embassy of India in the country Bahrain. Next is Parul Chaudhary, who was seen in the news recently, is associated with which sport? First of all, Parul Chaudhary is from India, and recently she finished 11th in the women's 300 meters steeplechase finals at the World Athletics Championship that was held in Budapest in the country Hungary. So she set a new national record and also went past the entry standard for Paris Olympics. So she clocked 9:15:31 seconds and broke the record that was set during Rio Olympics in 2016, while also finishing under 9:23 seconds. This was the qualification mark for Paris Olympics. Okay, so Parul Chaudhary is associated with steeplechase. Now, apart from it, Indian Oil Corporation, Larsen & Toubro and Renew have set up a joint venture for pursuing the green hydrogen projects. And the JV company GH4 India has been formed for the purpose of development of the green hydrogen and its derivatives that include green ammonia and methanol, besides production assets and associated renewable assets through any model of ownership and operatorship. Okay, so GH4 India, which was seen in the news recently, is a joint venture company that has been set up for pursuing which type of project? So answer would be green hydrogen projects. Next is, which country is the host of the multilateral tri-service exercise Bright Star 2-3? So the Indian Air Force contingent is participating in this exercise, which is a biennial multilateral tri-service exercise that is scheduled to be held at Cairo in the country Egypt. So this is for the first time that Indian Air Force is participating in this particular exercise, which will also see participation of contingents from the USA, Saudi Arabia, Greece and Qatar. Okay, so your correct answer would be Egypt. Next is Smart Lander for Investigation Moon is associated with which country's space agency? So the Space Agency of Japan country has recently suspended a planned launch of an H-2A rocket that was to carry a moon lander into the space. And this launch was cancelled because of unsuitable wind conditions in the upper atmosphere. And the rocket is carrying the JAXA's Smart Lander for Investigating Moon, which would be the first Japanese spacecraft to land on the moon. Okay, so this is associated with the country Japan. Also, as per the data released by the ISRO, what is the highest temperature recorded on the lunar surface in the Chandrayaan mission? So recently ISRO released a graph of the temperature variations on the lunar surface, and the 70 degrees centigrade recorded is higher than what was expected. So the Vikram lander has measured the temperature profile of the lunar topsoil around the pole by the CHAST. What is this? The Chandra's Surface Thermophysical Experiment payload, and it was developed by a team that was led by Space Physics Laboratory of Vikram Sarabhai Space Center in collaboration with Physical Research Laboratory, Ahmedabad. Fine. You can be asked that as per the data recently released by ISRO, what is the highest temperature that has been recorded on the lunar surface in Chandrayaan mission? Answer would be 70 degrees centigrade. Next is, which state implements the Shasan Aplaya Dari Government at Your Doorstep drive? This is Maharashtra state. Who's the Chief Minister of Maharashtra? Mr. Eknath Shinde. He said 1.5 crore people in the state have benefited from this Government at Your Doorstep drive and CM's relief fund, and the state has so far distributed 22,000 tractors and 2,250 rotary tillers to the farmers, and around 4 lakh people have received 1,351 crore rupees under different schemes. Okay, simply have to remember that this is the scheme that is implemented by Maharashtra state. Also, which state or the union territory has launched One Lake portal to enhance the public awareness about the forest and sanctuaries? This is Delhi, and the Delhi Environment and Forest Ministry has launched a portal to enhance public awareness about the forest and wildlife sanctuary areas that need protection. So by knowing which regions are designated for conservation, Delhi residents can contribute to the preservation of their surroundings, and it utilizes a geographic information system platform to visualize the data effectively. Okay, so simply Delhi has launched the One Lake portal so as to enhance public awareness about their forest and sanctuaries. Next is, the Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Port is located in which state or the union territory? So Kolkata Port, which is also known as the Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Port, is offering nearly 60 acres of its land in the city for the state's very first multimodal logistics park. So none of the multimodal logistic park proposed across the country is in the port area currently, and here more than 25 acres of warehousing space is available, and there is a single window system as well. So it is strategically located very close to the highways, and it is well connected to Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan and to our northeastern India. Okay, so Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Port is located in West Bengal state. Also, can you tell me which country hosted the tent pegging World Cup in which India finished third? So this is South Africa. A 5-member Indian team achieved a historic first by finishing third in the tent pegging World Cup that was held in South Africa. Basically, it is a cavalry sport wherein the rider is supposed to pick a wooden block placed on the ground with a spear. So India had finished at the 6th and the 7th spots in the last 2 editions of this World Cup, and now we are at the 3rd position. Fine. Next is, which institution is set to develop local area management plan? This is CSIR. NEERI means National Environmental Engineering Research Institute. Recently, they said that it will develop a grid-based mitigation strategy to tackle the air pollution problem in Delhi. And this plan was presented during the India Clean Air Summit 2023 that was held in Bengaluru. And LAMP will actually allow the policymakers to devise tailored strategies for pollution control within their jurisdiction, which would align with the National Clean Air Program goals. Okay, so your correct answer would be CSIR NEEL. Also, which institution has developed India's very first wheeled armored amphibious platform vehicles? So this is DRDO and Tata Advanced System. Okay, so these vehicles have been deployed in South Kashmir so as to help anti-militancy operations by CRPF, and the 8x8 vehicle is a state-of-the-art platform which is India's very first vehicle that can be driven on road, marshy terrain, water and in mountainous terrain. So this vehicle has been developed by Vehicle Research and Development Establishment, that is DRDO Lab, and Tata Advanced System Limited. Fine. You can be asked that which institution has developed India's first wheeled armored amphibious platform vehicle. Answer would be DRDO and Tata Advanced System. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from both the days. And now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Minu Zahadsana signing off.